Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got a SaaS business for sale in the software niche. Created in August 2016, this business makes $5,491 per month net profit, and the listing number for the business is 44978. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Martin, thank you for coming on here today. How are you doing?
Hi, Jake. Thank you for having me. I'm doing fine. I'm very excited to talk about my business a little bit so the buyers can have a better idea about what they're buying.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have you on as well. Very interesting business here, and I'm looking forward to talking with you about it. Before we get to the questions that I have for you, though, I want to go ahead and run through a little quick summary of the business. Again, the business was built in August of 2016, has a monthly revenue of $2,341, expenses of $347 to make for net profit of $1,994, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are 4 Chrome extensions, associated custom-built websites, social media accounts, Facebook group, and email list. Martin, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
So this is actually my first successful online business that I have built. I have been trying for the last 4 years, and the first 2 years were all flops, I should say, because I made a lot of amateur mistakes in building them. And I learned from my mistakes, and I got a little bit lucky with this last one. But basically, I'm a software developer by trade. I worked as a freelancer. I just didn't like working on a per project basis because this meant I had to constantly chase new business, new clients, and I didn't like that aspect of the freelancing. And then I started reading TechCrunch and all those articles about startups, and I got inspired, and I did all the newbie mistakes. I developed software without speaking to clients, without speaking to potential users. And that's where I started getting my feet wet into the whole business, into learning the ins and outs of I always had interest in SaaS businesses because I like the subscription model. What I like about it is you don't have to, basically, when you get a subscriber, as long as they stay happy with your product and you keep improving it, they stay with you, and you don't have to chase them for payments. The payments are automatic. I really like the automatic nature of it. You can better plan your runway and your future and the future development of your business this way. So yeah, I started learning how to code in high school, and I got better at it. I started getting jobs, assignments, gigs, and eventually I met a friend who had a need for software for his business, for his dropshipping business. He asked me to build a software solution for him, and I did. He liked it, and I expected this to be a one-time thing as a freelancer for him, to charge him money. But interestingly enough, I discovered that there is a Facebook group of people just like him who I reasoned would also need that kind of software. So I offered it to the group. I started messaging people one by one, talking to them about what I had built and asking how I could improve it in such a way as they would be willing to pay for it. So initially I started with 5 paying users for very, very cheaply. It costed $10 a month. It costs $19.99 right now. I doubled the price and I didn't notice any reductions in conversion rate. So when I started at $10, I had 2 or 3 users, and I was really excited because I never really sold a product on the internet before. I've always been working per project, per client on people's websites, and I kept growing it. I started messaging I found other Facebook groups in related niches. I was constantly getting requests for new features, and it kind of grew organically from that point on. I never actually intended to sell it. I intended to build it more, but now I have, in the course of running the business, people seeing that I am a capable developer, and they started telling me their ideas. It was a fragmented market when lots of people wanted functionality that wasn't available in competitor products. And they were planning to build it to pay for a developer to build the tool for them privately. But when I came along and they saw that I know what I'm doing, they decided, I better just tell Martin and pay the subscription fee to his software. And it kind of organically grew from that, from the feedback of my existing subscribers and their friends who are in the same business, in the dropshipping niche. I started getting requests, and eventually now I'm kind of getting inspired to work on it's still an e-commerce niche. I have big projects in the e-commerce niche that are not related to dropshipping, but I just kind of want to focus on that. So I just don't have the same time to maintain the current Chrome extensions. I have to either choose to grow out the Chrome extensions and build more features for them, or build a better marketing funnel, because right now the marketing funnel is subpar in my opinion, or I can sell the business and focus on my new idea and new project with the skills and know-how that I have gathered so far.
You say that the marketing funnel is very subpar. So let's talk about that, Martin.
Yeah.
Where does the traffic for the business come in and how is it subpar?
Excellent question. So the first year, I was the sole driver for the traffic for the business. I was the engine. I had to go on Facebook, post on Facebook groups, message people individually, send them a private message, talk to them, explain to them the tool, because it was hard for them to gather from the homepage. I mean, I have since improved the homepage, but back then the homepage was very, very basic. It wasn't good enough. There were no screenshots. They couldn't understand about all the different functions that I offer. Because basically, since I support many different websites, it's important. And dropshippers, each dropshipper has a unique business model. They don't exactly do the same thing, and they don't use the same supplier websites. So it was important to list on the homepage all the supported websites and all the functionality the Chrome extensions do on each website. And I didn't have that, and so I had to explain manually per person what was it all about. Once they figured it out, they subscribe, and they were happy, and they usually stay, the average person stays for about 9 months. Yeah. So I was the main engine. Afterwards, I saw that there were ways to automate that whole acquisition process. A better landing page meant that I could just send a link to a person, to a potential lead. He would go on the homepage, see what it's all about, and either subscribe, or ask me a few other questions that I can answer, and then he would subscribe. Another thing that is very, very useful is videos. So YouTube videos that showcase the functionality. Because many of my clients are not very computer savvy. They're great at selling online. They have great experience with eBay, with Amazon, with Shopify, with Etsy, but they don't exactly understand software. So when they see it on a YouTube video, step by step, how I do it, and then they can repeat it, that's when they get excited and they buy. But my YouTube videos outdated. So the first thing I would do if I was to increase the traffic and gain more exposure and more subscribers right now is I would re-record all the videos showcasing the new functionality that I have built over the last year. And I haven't done any search engine optimization. So by accident, I don't know how Google algorithms, they ranked me for keywords like dropship helper and dropship lister and dropship fulfillment. And those keywords, I'm starting to see organic signups. Like the past 6 months, I haven't done any outreach, meaning that I have been gaining subscribers without messaging people directly. I don't know where they come from. I assume they come from organic Google traffic. But yeah, I just I found out I don't have time to both support the software, fix bugs, develop new functionality, and market it, meaning and record videos, post on Facebook, message people directly, SEO, write content, and all those things. I'm a one-man army. I'm a sole owner of the business. So the people who are potentially buying it have a team. Like if they have one guy who's doing the marketing and one guy who's doing development, I think they can really, really scale that.
So seeing as you are a one-man team here, how much time do you have to invest in the business on a weekly basis?
It depends whether I want it to grow or just maintain it. If I want to grow it, like my mindset is I go all out. I just go 80 hours a week if I'm growing a business. If I maintain what I already have, this would entail just fixing the bugs or when a complaint comes in, basically support. So support is 2 types of support. There are 2 types of questions. Either, hey, Marty, this is not working, in which case I have to go fix it and push an update to Chrome Web Store. Or in terms of, hey, Martin, can you build me that feature? Or, hey, Martin, why I don't get how to use this feature. So that type of question, you usually can record good videos and just send them a link to the video and they get it. The first question, the bug, you have to fix the bug yourself or pay a developer to fix it. And if I only maintain, I have gone as low as 20 hours per week is my lowest. Also, you're kind of dependent on Amazon and eBay. If they make a change to their dashboards, to their websites, then usually you would have to rewrite lines in the code to make the extension show the buttons correctly on the new design. But yeah, okay, so to answer your question directly, minimum of 20 hours per week is necessary. Of course, as a developer, if you have a developer, then you're not working and you want to maintain this income level, you don't have to work at all on the business.
So what you would recommend to someone who wanted to purchase this business and make it very passive would be to hire a developer, and then they wouldn't have to work on the business at all to maintain it.
Yes, the perfect buyer, in my estimation, is somebody who is already has a connection with the developer or is working together with the developer on another project. And this developer can devote 10 to 20 hours per week on maintaining the extensions because there are 4 extensions. So if you have that, then you're set. And of course, but I mean, I think there's a lot of space for growth because I'm really not a marketer. I'm not an online marketer. I'm a developer. So I just did the bare minimum to get by. And really, the growth that I had was already sometimes overwhelming because when you have tens, I mean, this past 2 weeks, I gained 10 new subscribers and they all required onboarding. I also don't have the onboarding automated. So I had to be on call with them on TeamViewer, on Skype, or, it's just, there are lots of things that can be automated into the acquisition and retention process that can make the business more passive and grow more easily and more quickly.
You mentioned that there are all these opportunities for growth, especially on the marketing end, seeing as that's not your background. If you did have a background and knew what you were doing in that stuff, what areas would you focus on? Where do you see the big opportunities for growth in terms of marketing?
So I have built a Facebook group that currently has 300 active users, and growing that group to 1,000 users is the first thing that I would do, because first of all, people don't mind when they are added to a Facebook group. They don't tend to unsubscribe for it, especially when it's about dropshipping software, because they're always eager. Dropshippers are always eager for the new next best thing and next thing that can make them money or can save them time. Start with growing the Facebook group. Then I would go and partner with the influencers from other adjacent Facebook groups who are also dropshippers, because there are lots of dropshippers who create courses and they're influencers in their field and they really don't understand software, but they understand dropshipping. And if you partner with them, you can offer them discounts to their students and to their, to their members, to their group members. So I've managed to add, so my first big growth increase was when I partnered with a Lithuanian influencer in the dropshipping niche. He basically translated what my extension does in Lithuanian, and he added discount code to, he promoted it in his Facebook group. So, and then I got 50 new subscribers over the next 2 months from that alone. So influencers, so to contact influencers and to grow the Facebook presence is step one. Step two, more long term, I would say definitely the YouTube channel. I mean, the YouTube channel is nice because not only does it give you exposure with each new video that you post, and when I say new video, I mean showcasing functionality for each supported retailer. Not only does it give you exposure, but it also explains how to use the extension. So it covers 2 bases at once. So usually what happens is you put the link for them to subscribe in the description. They go to the landing page. The landing page has more information. And then they sign up. And honestly, after they sign up, as long as it works, and it works right now, there's nothing you need to do. So if you build up the Facebook presence and partner with influencers and you build a YouTube channel, it's automated for me as well, like the user acquisition. I'm getting subscribers weekly without paying for advertisement or without any effort. My effort right now is just maintaining it, really. Does that answer your question?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
and seeing as you're just maintaining it, then have you encountered anything that you would consider potential risk with this business that you would want a new owner to be aware of?
Yeah, okay, so in terms of risks, it's with the dropshipping business, your risk is that your clients, their business model might falter. I mean, I had people quit because they're frustrated, not with the software, but with the dropshipping business in itself. Usually after eBay makes a change to its algorithm. As I said before, every dropshipper has its own unique way to make money and sometimes through algorithm changes, they get less traffic to their listings. I'm speaking about eBay users in particular. Amazon users are a little bit different. And I've had people quit because of that. And you really can't do anything about it. You just have to focus on the people who are making money in the niche, and there are plenty of them as well. So that's the risk. The risk is that some of the people can quit. I mean, if at any point in the future dropshipping becomes banned in eBay, you're going to lose half your subscribers. Here is something interesting to know when you are a SaaS business. I have people who are subscribed to me. I don't know how ethical this is to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I have people who are subscribed to me who are not actively using my software, but they haven't canceled. That's one advantage to have people as subscribers. I'm literally getting paid right now from people for doing nothing. I don't know if some people are going to like that or not. Just is the truth, so it's out there. So yeah, the risk is the business model falters. But then again, there's so many ways to make money on e-commerce that usually you can just basically you have to find the people who are making money through dropshipping on Facebook groups, on other communities. I know of a group on Telegram, eBay dropshipping. There's a group of Telegram people share knowledge out there, and you just post to them. You say, "Hey guys, here's my software. Do you think it's useful? How do you think this can be improved?" They're always happy to give you ideas, and they sign up once you actually deliver on those ideas when you implement it. So, did I answer your question again?
Risks and perceived risks are whatever you see it as. I know that with the subscription model, a risk would be users not using it and eventually canceling. But I mean, that is also a plus of, as you said, people who are just signed up to give you money every single month, even though they're not using the program. That's always a good thing.
It happens.
So when you look at this business as a non-developer, at least myself looking at it as a non-developer, I wonder then what level of expertise do I need to run the business, even if I were to hire a developer?
That's a very good question. So when I started developing this software, I had no idea of the underlying business model of my subscribers. So I had no idea about e-commerce, about dropshipping. And literally what I did, and I still do, is I just keep very, very close connection and communicate with my active subscribers. And I ask them all the time, what is the next thing that you need? Where do you struggle? Where do you lose a lot of time? Basically, I'm searching for things that I can automate. Most recently, to give you an example, eBay started requiring every seller to have a VAT number and to be registered with a company and to keep track of invoices. That meant that for each order that you had to download the invoice and you basically had to do accounting on it. You had to organize it with a file structure. You had to, so you can send it to an accountant. But basically that process was lengthy. It meant you have to search for each order, click on it. And I have clients to have thousands of orders per day. So I added a feature to my, and I didn't know that because I'm not a dropshipper. They told me. But basically what I like about this business is that people, instead of me having to push my software to people, it's the other way around. My subscribers message me, harass me constantly about new functionality that they need in the tool. Once I build them, other people are attracted to those new functionality. I post an update on Facebook. Ideally, I don't do it right now, but I would have to post a new YouTube video, and this gives me additional growth. But I automated the downloading and the organizing of invoices per order. So they were very happy with that. So my point was that ideally, you would know about the dropshipping business model. I mean, that's the best thing you can know about. Now, there are online courses about that. There are Udemy courses, there are YouTube courses. You can learn about it. I even have a course that I purchased that I can offer for free for any potential buyer. That's not a problem. But if you don't want to learn dropshipping, then you can rely on the subscribers to tell you what they need. You also have to register an eBay account. You have to register an Amazon account so you can test. That's a very important point. You basically just have to go on eBay, register an account if you don't have one, and generate one order so you can test the extension locally. If that's also for the developer. So basically, if there's a bug, you have to reproduce it locally. So you have to have an active eBay account and an Amazon account and a Shopify account, because for each Chrome extension, I support the different retailers. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're making these SaaS products that cater towards dropshippers, you should know the dropshipping model a little bit to be able to make decisions about that.
Exactly.
Martin, would you commit to a non-compete?
Yes, I was.
And how much support are you willing to offer a new owner during the transition period?
The transition period, the most important thing is that you need to keep all software operational and you need to keep fixing bugs. So I'll be on call fixing bugs. Okay, let me offer this. For 2 months, I'm going to keep maintaining it, even though I'm not making any money out of it. 2 months, that's 8 weeks. Ideally, in that period of time, you either got to have a developer, or you have to be a developer, or you have to partner with a developer. I mean, there is coding involved. It's a software business, so there's coding involved. Now, maybe we can negotiate and you can pay me to maintain it for you, although that's not optimal for me because really the reason I'm selling is to have more time to focus on my other software business. So 2 months, I'm willing in the interest of selling the business to support the software for 2 months for free. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Are you willing to negotiate on something like an earnout?
Now, ideally, I wanted to be free from thinking about dropshipping business within 2 months completely, but earnout just keeps me engaged with the deal for a longer period of time. But if I don't have other offers, like if earnout is the only offer that I have, I'm willing to take it, yeah. But if I have other buyers who are willing to pay cash, I would just take the cash deal.
Awesome, Martin. Thank you so much. I do have another question for you. Before we get to that, I want to go ahead and run through that quick summary of the business again. The business was built in August of 2016, has a monthly revenue of $2,341, expenses of $347 to make for a net profit of $1,994, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are 4 Chrome extensions, associated custom-built websites, social media accounts, Facebook group, and email list. Martin, looking at this business all together now, why do you feel like it is a business worth buying?
Well, it's really, really difficult to get initial traction, not only have paying users, but profitable in the software niche. I mean, it took me 2 years of failure until I actually got it right on my 3rd try. And once you have this initial growth, these paying customers, they start pulling you towards growing the business. Honestly, my subscribers are very active. They're not just some passive people who pay me money every month. They're active, they're involved, they want this business to grow and to have, to get bigger, to support more retailers, to support more functions, to automate more things. Basically, the whole thing rotates around automation. It's about business automation. They have processes that they have to follow each and every day. They are paying virtual assistants right now. They were paying for more of them before my software, but they're still paying some virtual assistants, and everything that you can automate that the virtual assistant does saves them money, and they're motivated to buy. Basically, they buy my software because they save money on paying other people. I'm killing jobs. I mean, you can look at it this way. And the reason it's a good thing to, like, why I would buy it is, if I had experience in marketing, I would buy this ready-made tool, get a developer to maintain it, and start just marketing it, getting more exposure, building the funnels, the channels, doing the on-page optimization, doing A&B split testing. There is very little work done on the marketing side, on the sales side. This was purely a development play. And honestly, the subscribers, my users, they were so desperate to have something to automate their daily lives that they were willing to overlook design flows, and they were even willing to overlook bugs, and they worked around the bugs until I fixed them. But there's lots of room for improvement. They're definitely not the maximum, the high point of this business.
Martin, thank you so much for taking the time today to discuss your business with me.
No problem, Jax. It was my pleasure. I hope that the buyers have a better idea about what they're getting into. I mean, it's exciting, but it does take a lot of work.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing site and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you. You'll be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.